Hello everyone, this is Jerome Cuson again, and what I'm going to be doing is typically there will be about 2 to 3 videos per week, one of which will typically be created by me at least, maybe 2. This week you're getting 2 videos from me specifically because it is the first week. The other video went over some of the logistics of just how to get into the course and all that good stuff. But this one is kind of getting into the nuts and bolts of the syllabus, as well as the discussion board journal entry and one-pager that is due for the week. Alright, so the required texts. It is Writing Memphis, the 3rd edition. Make sure you get the right edition and make sure that you get it as soon as possible. If you were in my 1010 class, you know that I did not make you buy the textbook because of the nature of 1020 and because I find this textbook to actually be useful. Make sure that you purchase it as soon as possible. The first 2 weeks worth of reading can be found on eCourseWare, but you still do need to buy the book because I cannot upload all the readings. So make sure you do that. Get that done. This is my contact information. jccuson@memphis.edu is my email. The phone number is 901-424-3262. This is a text-only phone number. You cannot call this number, but this is a way to get in touch with me if you need to do so quickly. I know some students may be used to using Zoom, and I understand that, but I do not like to use Zoom. And when we need to meet on an individual basis for video conferencing, it will be done over Skype. Skype is a service that you can use for free, that you can put on your computer, or it can be an app on your phone. Okay, you may find me, Jerome Cuson, from Chicago, Illinois. My name is Hook and Ladder on there. Virtual office hours. I am available for virtual individual conferences Monday through Thursday during the day and evening with 24 hours notice. Under certain circumstances, I may be able to accommodate limited weekend sessions, but generally it is difficult for me to meet outside of the listed days. When it comes to emails, they will be responded to within 24 to 48 hours. If I do not respond to your email after 48 hours, please send the email again. Just assume that either I did not receive it or that I've forgotten to respond to it. So after 48 hours, just send the email again. COVID-19, very important we talk about communication. This is an important element of any class, but I think especially through last semester and this semester, I think it's really important that we talk about COVID because there's not only the virus that needs to be worried about, I also understand that there are mental health issues as well. I realize that the issues with this virus also extend to housing, food insecurity, and again, I know how private of a person I am, but I also need to be able to work with all of you if any of these issues need to be addressed, whether it's COVID, whether it's mental health, whether it is housing issues, food insecurity. Internet problems are not listed, but I also know that that is one of them as well. I can certainly do what I can to help you identify people and resources. Maintain an open line of communication. That's the best thing you can do. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have is students who bring up issues after an assignment is due or at the end of a semester. All right, I have a lot more flexibility when you tell me things in advance of an assignment being due or at the beginning of the semester. It just makes my life a lot easier and I can work with you a lot better. When something comes up, let me know as soon as possible. And the same thing for me. If something comes up on my end, whether I'm sick, getting COVID, whatever it is, like whatever comes up, I know that I'm going to model good behavior, okay? Which is why I emailed you 2 weeks before the class. So I want you to understand that what I'm asking you to do, I'm also going to practice what I preach. Students who are sick should let me know as soon as possible. I have to emphasize that you are not required to do this. This is not mandatory. But transparency and honesty are extremely helpful for me in assisting you. Because there's not only COVID-19, there's also the flu, there's strep throat, There are car accidents that happen, unfortunately, to students that I've noticed in Memphis because of the way everyone drives. So these are all things that you should be mindful of. Students should make a decision about what their own personal health and do what is best for them. If students are at risk because of work, if you work in a hospital, a restaurant, a grocery store, or if you have family members that you are concerned about, then tell me about any of those kinds of issues. And again, I am really not trying to invade your privacy, but I'm just trying to maintain an open line of communication and work with you the best I can. So back to the logistics of the course. This is the way that the grades break down, okay? The rhetorical analysis, that's going to be 10% of your grade. That is the first major assignment. The researched argument draft, the first draft that you do, it will count. It will not count for as that much, but that 5% can make a difference at the end of the semester. And then the two big ones are the new media draft and the researched argument revision. So after the first draft, you're going to get all kinds of feedback from me. And you don't have a final exam or a final test to do, but instead you will have a revision of your paper. And that's 35%. You cannot pass this class unless you do well on the researched argument revision. Okay, you cannot expect to pass this course unless you do well on it. And that goes for the new media draft as well, because that is 55% of your overall grade. But you do need to complete the smaller assignments as well. The discussion board, the journal entries, and as well as the one-pagers. Those are all going to be 10% of your scores. Please read the syllabus and other attachments for more details on these assignments. Also, read the syllabus because I talk a little bit about both email etiquette as well as discussion board etiquette. I don't feel the need to really go over that in this video, but that is something that you should be mindful of. Plagiarism and integrity. So unfortunately in 1020 last spring when I taught this class, I had 4 issues of plagiarism in the same week with the rhetorical analysis. So in 1020, plagiarism is much more of an issue, and it is not something that I tolerate. If you plagiarize in this class on the major assignments, you will receive an F for the course. Okay? I will not consider other disciplinary actions, but when it comes to other courses, you are subject to that. Okay? So just be mindful of that. If it happens on a smaller assignment, you may only get a 0, but if it happens on a major assignment, you will fail the class. So just keep that in mind. Any form of plagiarism, cheating, any other forms of academic dishonesty, if you forget to cite something, that is not plagiarism. Okay, we will talk about what plagiarism is. But if there is any doubt in your mind, if there are any questions that you have about plagiarism, then please let me know that, and we will talk about what constitutes plagiarism and what doesn't. Okay, because not knowing is not an excuse at this point. You're in your second semester, or if you are in your first semester, you are still at a point where you are in a 1020 class, and you should already have a pretty good idea of what plagiarism is at this point. But we will get into some of the details as we move forward. Students with disabilities. If you are a student with a disability, there are reasonable, necessary academic accommodations that can be used if determined eligible by the disability services staff at their home institution. Okay, so one of the big things with students with disabilities, if you are a student who has had COVID-19 and you are still dealing with issues, physical or mental, from COVID-19, that is considered to be a disability. So if you need accommodations because of COVID-19, that is something that you need to tell the disabilities office, because you are entitled to getting accommodations. Okay? That's why I'm going out of my way to mention students with disability. It is a requirement for all syllabi, but I wanted to mention it specifically because of COVID. Okay? If you are long-term COVID I believe the term they're using is long hauler, then you are eligible for accommodations. But it's something you have to work with the disabilities office. Okay? And if there are questions, just email me and I'll work with you. So the week 1 rundown, okay? You want to make sure you watch all the videos, watch this PowerPoint. These are the listed readings. Number 3, you're going to read the preface, the student course narratives, and I am a Memphian. And then you've got your first introductory discussion post, the journal entry, as well as the one-pager. Okay, so the first discussion board, you are making introductions. In this, I want you to give me your name, year, major, job, some favorite hobbies, illustrate some favorite subjects you might be interested in writing about this semester, and then kind of get into more of the nitty-gritty. What aspects of the course are you interested in? What are you concerned about? You can highlight your concerns when it comes to writing an argumentative research paper, or even just talking about the pandemic. Certainly, this is an opportunity for you to talk about any concerns that you have about the semester. And if I tell you to not write about the pandemic, or even the situation that is involving our country right now, that would be intellectually dishonest. So whatever concerns that you have about this semester, just highlight them. Okay? Your initial post is going to be due by Tuesday, January the 19th. I realize this is the first day of class. I will make some accommodations for students who turn this in late, okay? But you do want to try to get in on that first day. Then you should respond to 2 of your peers, 100 and 150 words by Sunday, January the 24th at 11:59 p.m. So the first thing, one of the readings you need to do is the preface, and then you want to give me 3 takeaways for the journal entry. Okay, the preface is an introduction to the class, and you're going to highlight the 3 takeaways. Please quote or paraphrase the passages before explaining why the statement is important or how this will help you moving forward. Basically, I want to know that you have read the preface, okay, because I know a lot of people skip it, but we're not skipping it. It is part of your reading. All the journal entries you write for this class should be at least 3/4 of a page, so you want to get it to be as close to a full page as possible, and this will be due Thursday, January the 21st at 11:59 p.m. Your one-pager. This is the type of assignment that is perhaps the most formal. I am a Memphian, and you need to read the entries on these pages in Writing Memphis, and you're going to write about your experience as a Memphian. Okay, maybe positive, negative. You may, again, also include the pandemic in your response. You should be considered a Memphian whether you were born here or whether you're new to the city. Regardless of what you choose, I want you to be as creative as possible in much the same way as Dan Conway. Now, if you are an online student who has not and does not live in Memphis, please email me and we will figure out an alternative. One-pagers should be a page long. They should not be any longer than 2 pages. And this is always due at the end of the week, which in this case is Sunday, January the 24th at 11:59. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure that you ask any questions as they come up, and have a good week and a good start to the semester.